Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl.
Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator. The beginning of everything.
Welcome back, my friends.
It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 348 of The Brink of Sanity. I am Jay, and with me is Mark and Peter. How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
Peter, how you doing?
Pretty good.
All right.
Cool.
Doing great.
Peter, I think Jay is lying.
I didn't say how I'm doing. I'm doing terrible.
Okay, because I expect you to be doing terribly because Jay, I thought he was going to be the third party contender to take out Trump and Biden, but the new presidential candidate who's trying to basically trying to take the Brink of Sanity's game.
Yeah, he stole your platform, dude.
He stole your platform. He's trying to beat you.
I mean,
What do you-
he hasn't registered, though.
Does that really matter?
Yeah, you can't run if you don't register.
Kanye can do whatever the hell he wants, Jay. If he wants to be president, he's going to be president.
And look, Jay, he's certainly beating you in the court of public opinion. Okay,
Well,
that's what really matters.
He is.
Will you debate Kanye West, Jay?
Yeah, I'll debate Kanye West.
Okay. So let's ask some questions. Jay, do you think Jesus walks?
On water.
Okay. Do you have a song about it? Because he's got a better song about it.
Good answer.
Aerosmith's Walk on Water.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, Kim Kardashian. Best Kardashian? Is
Fourth best.
that the one he's married to?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Wait, then who's Jay-Z married to? Oh, he's married to Beyonce. I get all this confused.
This is the worst interview.
A terrible interview. But are you? Why should we vote for you over Kanye West, Jay?
I have a new platform.
You have a new platform.
I
Is
do.
your platform? Is there a different rapper you're going to bring to America?
No.
Okay.
My platform is to revamp the education system, and that'll fix pretty much all the problems in the United States.
Okay. Are you going to make it in person or online? Because I can't take online. I cannot take this remote learning anymore.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's the curriculum, not,
Okay, Jay, what are you playing? I have two kids. They're in the school system. They're both in elementary school.
Mhm.
What are you playing and teaching my kids, Jay?
So what grades are they in?
My son will be entering fourth grade in the fall,
Mhm.
and my daughter will be entering first grade.
Okay, your daughter will not learn any math, English, history, none of that. Nothing.
Okay, well, I guess I have to vote for Kanye West.
For-
What the hell's wrong with you?
Hear me out. For the next 3 years, she's just going to learn behavior and morals and learn how to respect other people.
Can't you do both of those? By the way, I don't know how you could do remote learning and have kids learn any of this shit.
You can. I mean, some of it, not the social stuff at all, but you
Yeah,
could-
I meant the social stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah.
understand you can learn the math, the reading, and all that stuff,
Mhm.
but kids also learn how to be bigger assholes because they don't know how to interact with people because you're doing everything remote. I was reading some article about remote learning versus in school, and some parents were like in the comment section, "Oh, my kids didn't have the distractions of regular school. This is working out better. We can go remote for as long as." Your kids will end up being assholes if they're not forced to interact with other kids.
Well, that's
But I
my
mean,
whole
people
thing.
do homeschooling, and they're not all necessarily assholes. I'm sure you guys met homeschooled people. They don't have to be
Yeah.
total assholes. It's
No, but
possible.
No, it's possible. But for the most part, those people also, they choose to homeschool. And they also, a lot of times their homeschooling, it just means they're involved in smaller schools. They find a couple of people who all do homeschooling together and they make their own mini schools. And they go out of their way to socialize their kids. This is different because this is just stay in your house, do school at home, and try not to interact with people. And I don't know. I'm just fucking hate this pandemic.
I mean, what if, and I mean, I don't mean to scare anyone or whatever, but what if in-person interactions and stuff that were more relevant to our lives, are just forever going to be much less relevant? What if in 20 years when your kids are, older, they don't really have to interact with people at all because we've the world like changes in such a dramatic way.
The
I mean, it's
coronavirus is
possible.
on its 37th wave, and basically you can't go outside anymore.
Only in America. Only in America. It'll be gone elsewhere, obviously.
If we can only figure out how to, we can't get on an airplane together, so we can't leave. We're all stuck here, and nowhere else in the world has this problem now. China keeps offering to rescue us, but like President Jared Kushner Jr. is like, fuck that! We're gonna bomb China if they come near us.
Well, if you think about it, pretty much every problem we have in America is because people are assholes.
Yeah, well, the online world makes everything. If you look at any social media site where basically people are forced not to really interact with each other, it's the worst of humanity.
Well, that's why I'm proposing changing the school system so that people are just taught not to be assholes for the first 4 years of school. 4th grade is when they start learning.
Can we cut to this? Hi, I'm in 1st grade. Hi, Teacher Jay. What are we learning today?
We're learning behavior and morals.
Okay, I like behavior and morals. Go!
Why is the president teaching us today?
I don't know.
I didn't know I was going to have to come up with a whole curriculum on the spot, little girl.
Your platform sucks.
All right. They do this in Japan, right?
They do what in Japan?
They don't learn anything until 4th grade except how to not be a shithead. And guess what? They have no violence in their country.
I mean, sounds good. Sign me up for anything any other country's doing besides us.
The pandemic is over in Japan. They didn't have to quarantine. They didn't have to lock down.
Yep.
All their
Like
citizens just
6,000 people.
listened, and it's over.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure every country besides like Afghanistan is doing it better than us right now.
Right.
Every country that doesn't have like a total shithead in control is doing better. But like other countries with shitheads in control, like Brazil and Russia, are doing bad like us.
You see, that's my whole argument is that if we didn't have assholes, we wouldn't have these problems. So
Jay,
it starts with school.
How do you know they're assholes? Have you been on social media? Have you seen society?
Yeah, everyone's an asshole. All right.
It's true.
So
I saw some guy who screamed at someone at I think Target just got fired from his insurance job.
Daniel Flores of Fort Myers. He worked at like Ted Todd Insurance, and he was fired less than 12 hours after the video was released. So
why?
Good for that guy.
Do these people not know that people are being fired all the time for this stuff now? At what point do you realize, like, I've got to not be an asshole in public because there are consequences?
Here's the thing. That guy was an asshole just by virtue of his wardrobe choice. Because if you, I don't know if you saw the video, Jay, but like he's wearing a red shirt that has like the silhouette of the United States, like the 48 states. And it says, running the world since 1776.
Yeah.
Even the shirt itself is like, it tells people that you're a total asshole because in 1776, there were only 13 states. There were only 13 colonies, dude. Like, it's just, and you have a picture of like the whole like you're just an idiot and an asshole beyond belief.
Well, also, we won the Revolutionary War, and then we're running the world.
Yeah, since.
His LinkedIn has been updated. It says he's working in the White House now, so he's good.
So when they beat the British, they're like, "That's it, we won the world."
I will.
Yeah. Don't.
Baseball teams win the World Series every year, so all that matters if you win here.
Forget the fact that the British came back and like burned Washington D.C. to the ground, including the White House, and like about 20 or 30 years later. And then, in the 20th century, we've lost every war, more or less, we've been involved in other than World War II.
So just moving on a little bit. Jay, I know you complain a lot about things these days.
What?
And you think like, I'm saying Jay complains a lot. And I want to talk about someone who has it worse than you.
You found somebody? I don't
I
believe it.
found someone who said the coronavirus has decimated his finances. He's in bad shape.
Okay.
Robert De Niro. He said that he's only going to make about $7.5 million this year, and not the normal $15 million he makes at minimum. And so he needs to be he needs to pay his now estranged, divorced his former wife less money, basically. She has been limited. She usually gets $100,000 a month from him on her credit card, and he's been lowering it to $50,000 a month.
Oh
And he has said basically, even though he's 76 years old, he needs to keep working to support his lifestyle. He cannot retire. So he's in worse shape than you are, Jay. He's 76 and he can't retire.
Sam Morril retweeted that story and he said, "Get ready for Meet the Parents 4."
That's
That's
amazing. It's really good. Get that man a government bailout, though. Jesus Christ. Wow.
So back to everybody being assholes.
Wait, wouldn't it be great though if throughout the movie, if they do Meet the Parents 4, throughout the movie they're like, "Why are we even doing this?" And he's like, "My fucking ex-wife has a expensive taste, and I cannot." Oh, I mean, he just like just breaks some character every once in a while.
Something Fockers. You laughing yet? Can I have money?
I mean, he can really do movies till he dies. People will put him in anything. He has an amazing career, but also an amazing amount of terrible movies.
Yeah.
You know what he should do? He should just like license his voice for like actually like video games and crap. Like I'm sure he'd make tons of money just sitting in his house.
Yeah, the budgets in these games now are the same as
Like movies beyond movies.
Yeah.
What's like a budget for these games?
The games that we're talking, like Last of Us, like those games, like easily $250 million or more.
It's pretty crazy. We were talking about before the show. Jay and Peter were talking a lot about video games. It was awesome, and they are encouraging me to play Last of Us. So my project for the show will be to play Last of Us and report back what I think of this video game. So tune in soon to hear me talk about video games.
I'm going to be shocked if you actually play it, but
Jay, why would I lie about this just to move on to the next topic?
Your punishment for not playing it should be that, Jay, you have to do like a Last of Us segment in every podcast forever, like just 15 minutes just talking about The Last of Us, like forever.
Or maybe
until he plays it.
Next episode I do 5 minutes of video game talk if Mark doesn't play, and I increase that by 5 minutes every episode.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
Some kind of like Chinese video game water torture.
Yeah, you basically have 12 episodes to play it, or the entire show is just video game talk.
That's incredible.
So we have a couple top fives and things to discuss today. I had a couple quick stories I wanted to do. Do you know that? So, Peter, you're a lawyer, right?
Yes.
Do you think the bar exam, which is the big exam you take to become a lawyer, in these times, should the bar exam be in person?
No.
You do not think so?
Absolutely not. No. I mean, I don't care about it. I think you'd eliminate it for all I care.
Okay, well, it's important to have the bar exam. If it's in person, would it be helpful for people to be allowed? Should people wear a suit and tie for the bar exam, or can they dress down?
They should dress down.
Okay, so you will never be admitted to the Virginia bar. The Virginia bar, are, and you
no, really? No. Oh my God.
They have solved things. They've said we're going to do things in person because it's important. But the way they are preventing people from getting the coronavirus, do you know what their plan is?
No, I have no idea.
If you were going to design a bar exam, and everyone has to get dressed up apparently in Virginia to like take the exam, but if you were going to design the exam and make it so the room, no one's going to get coronavirus, what steps do you take?
Immense social distancing, temperature checks, masks required, like a huge space, like make them take it in like shifts, like, one day, 20 people, the next day, 20 other people, spread it out over time, space, that among many other requirements.
Okay. Well, you're completely wrong. Jay, any guesses?
I have no clue.
Okay. So according to the notice they've come about mandatory dress codes, everyone, they said due to COVID-19, ties are no longer required at the exam.
Oh. Yeah, problem solved.
So for whatever reason, that's their big move. They're like, okay, no more ties and no coronavirus. This should be fine.
This is a great country
we
live in.
Oh my God.
The state of Virginia is like, we take the law seriously, so we're having as dumb a policy as possible.
So that's the only
I don't know, they might be doing other things, but I saw that as far as their dress code. What they said was everyone is they're like they said something how people are being dressed, they're dressing down. Everyone has to dress up, but because of the COVID-19, you no longer need to wear a tie for the exam.
All right. Well, I'm
Oh
already
my
feeling
God.
100% more relieved.
Oh my God.
My other favorite story of the week: a sex addict is suing Twitch. You know what Twitch is,
Oh.
guys?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He is
Who you
complaining-
think you're talking to
Yes,
here?
of course. You guys are in a video game. So Twitch is a platform where you go watch other people play video games. It just sounds amazing. I cannot wait to go on there and watch people play Last of Us. So sex
By the way,
addict-
Mark,
a
I'm
sex
gonna know
addict-
if you like watch Last of Us and not play it. I'm gonna know.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm going to download when the show's over. Anyway, a sex addict is suing Twitch, claiming they have sexually suggestive female streamers have caused him harm. So he's claiming that Twitch has gone out of its way to continually suggest sexually suggestive video game players, and because of this, they are taking advantage of the fact that he's a sex addict, and he's claiming he's injured his genitals and destroyed his computer while using the streaming service.
We live in a shitty country.
He's claimed
Sounds legit.
He claims that he suffers from depression, over obsessive compulsive disorder, panic disorder, and Crohn's disease, and heavily relies on the internet for entertainment, especially during the pandemic.
They
He-
really
he-
need to be stricter on frivolous lawsuits.
That I would agree. He's argued, but this is not frivolous lawsuit, Jay. He's argued that the website doesn't allow its users to filter streamers based on gender. It only filters by category or show, and even then he has to go through thumbnails showing these scantily clad women alongside the men to find what he's looking for.
He's scrolling through the channels looking for a specific game, and there's a woman. He just starts furiously masturbating. He can't change the channel quick enough.
So just to add, he follows, and I guess you can follow streamers on the site.
Yeah.
He follows 786 streamers,
Holy crap.
all of whom are women. And
Maybe that's why he's getting a lot of women in his feed. Just a thought.
that could be. They take advantage of sex addicts by allowing them to subscribe, donate, or pay bits to these women streamers who are only streaming, with the sole purpose of taking advantage of such disadvantaged individuals who just want to watch video games through Twitch, but then are enticed to spend money on these women for attention and sexual innuendo. So he's seeking $25 million in damages.
Oh my God.
But he's a good person. He wants to split the money between himself and Twitch Prime Turbo subscribers who also have the same issue, and any money left over will go to COVID-19 and Black Lives Matter charities.
Oh man. So I heard about this story earlier in the week, and I was like, it can't be real. But I looked up the complaint, like the actual filing, and I sent it to you guys. So I just wanted to know, like, did this guy have a lawyer? Like, did he somehow figure out, like, did he bamboozle someone into whatever? But he doesn't. He filed the lawsuit himself. Like, he has no lawyer, anything. It's pro se. But when you look through the complaint, there's about like 20 or 30 pages of extremely hot women, just their images, like in the complaint. Like he's like, God, like
What
the
the
most provocative pictures of like each Twitch streamer girl. Like,
Wait, is this really what goes on Twitch? Because maybe I'll watch Twitch. This
You know,
one girl's just naked.
Ronda Rousey has a Twitch.
There's one. The first image he has a close up to show that the vagina is showing. You can see the girl's like vaginal hairs. This is amazing.
isn't it incredible?
I need to go on
It's-
Twitch.
Literally, I think it's like 15 or 16 consecutive or 22 pages of just and for obviously you guys listening to this, it's like it's not high quality, it's like black and white, crappy, but the images are so vivid. He must have pasted like the highest definition images of every single woman in the most provocative like scenes possible.
I mean, some of the chicks are kind of. This one's actually in body paint.
Most of them are not playing video games, by the way.
Yeah.
So, Jay, you don't like how they're using it?
I'm just saying that.
Jay goes on. He's like, she's hot, but she's not a real gamer. This is bullshit.
I'd be criticizing her gameplay.
Yeah, I'd be like, yo, why'd you miss that shortcut?
Yeah, you fucking go down the pipe, you bitch.
How do you not know how to get 99 lives in Contra? What the fuck's wrong with you? Stop showing your tits and get on the game.
Honestly, like my enraged, I'd just be too enraged to like their shitty game playing to even get to enjoy their like beauty. I'd be like, what? Why'd you do that? Like, I couldn't I'd just be too freaked out by that or something.
On page 20, the girl just looks like she's in mid-orgasm. I mean, this is pretty hilarious.
Sasha Grey is on here.
Oh, I mean,
She's on Twitch?
Yeah. Yeah, Sasha Grey and Ronda Rousey are like the celebrity Twitch people.
This one where there's also like this one looks like the girl's about to take her shirt off. This one there's two lesbians or two girls kissing. Why is this a problem? Like he's pointing this out like he wants to get rid of it.
He's just trying to extort some money out of these guys.
This one she's actually not even home. She's in a gym.
Yeah, I don't get how these are Twitch streams, but all right.
But I mean, Sasha Grey's mentioned in the did you see that, Jay, or you mentioned it anyway?
For some reason, Sasha Grey's Twitch showed up on my Facebook the other day.
Oh, because he also says, however, the cream of the crop, Twitch's most egregious act is officially partnering with porn star known as Sasha Grey, who attracts anywhere from 2,000 to 7,000 views on a daily basis, some of which undoubtedly are 13 years of age or younger. What does his injury have to do with like children being hurt by this?
Well, she's not like sucking dick during her Twitch stream either. She's actually playing games.
I know, but it's just like he just throws into like maybe young kids are being harmed also.
I don't know.
It's like a complaint that like some dude who's a member of like
your audio just went like real quiet, Peter.
Oh, sorry. Is that better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying it's like a complaint that like someone who's like a member of the Taliban or something would file. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't have women like don't dress sexy. You tempt me.
These
like
females are showing their ankles.
I mean,
yeah.
This is this Andy Kaufman? This is from his complaint. The plaintiff has had purchased a fleshlight previously, which went largely unused until Twitch. He then began. By the way, if those that don't know what a fleshlight is, it's kind of a flashlight that you jerk off with.
Mark, it's a simulated vagina. Let's be clear.
Okay, yes. He began using this device while he watches female Twitch streamers and often ends up chafing his penis every day with this device, making it extremely painful and constant, which ends up causing redness and mild infections at the tip. Since the fleshlight is electrical and also vibrates.
How can you have this little shame?
Often has to use Neosporin on his tip to prevent necrosis.
Oh my god! Like this guy has no shame.
I would love to see him go into the doctor. He's like, "Doctor, my penis is red again. It's chafing. What should I do?"
Stop chafing it.
Stop chafing it, Doc. Have you seen Twitch? You're right, sir. You got to sue him.
Could you just not go on Twitch?
The plaintiff often, by the way, just the fact that like he just puts this in a complaint. The plaintiff often stays up for hours staring at the breasts of girl streamers, which ends up damaging his retina and making his eyes bloodshot for days. Eye drops do nothing to hide his shame from his parents, and he lives with his parents. And he is often questioned by people he comes into contact with as to why his eyes are so bloodshot and red, which leads to further embarrassment and isolation.
Yeah, because I'm sure if he got Twitch shut down that he wouldn't find another website to go to.
Hey, honey, why are your eyes so red? I've been staring at breasts all night, Mom. Leave me alone.
So
I can barely live with my shame.
How many hours?
Be in the basement.
How many hours do you have to stare at breasts for your eyes to go red? Because
I'm sure I've exceeded that number already. So I'm sure I've looked at more breasts than this guy.
I mean, I'm on Chatterbait a lot, and my eyes never turn red. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The judge is like, "Sir, have you thought about blinking?" Blinking. The plaintiff once ejaculated on his PC monitor, causing a short circuit and a wait. Hold the laughter. Hold the laughing. Causing a short circuit and a small fire within the electrical system of his gaming rig, and causing his apartment to black out temporarily.
Oh my God. He almost burnt down his house with the jizz monitor.
It has to be a joke. It has to be a joke.
Do you, first off, does the judge reading this be like, it's all worth it now, reading this complaint? Life is good? Like, is he happy to read this, or is he like, this is just fucking annoying?
I mean, he's probably annoyed, and the stenographer is definitely pissed off.
I would just think the judge would be like, this is the funniest thing I've ever read. Like, I would immediately, if I was the judge, I would demand a trial. I want oral argument. I want a trial. I want to hear this shit in person.
I mean, I'd probably just get mad for having my time wasted.
Peter, you're a lawyer, right? Have you done a deposition before?
Hundreds.
Okay, I'm gonna be. Do you mind acting as Twitch's lawyer here and doing the deposition?
Oh, gladly.
Okay, cool. I will be the plaintiff here.
All right, Mr. Estevillo. Good to have you here. So, can you tell me when did you first start noticing these problems?
Hang on, I'm just finishing off with the flashlight. Hang on, I'm just finishing off the flashlight. The chafing. Oh, what did you say?
When did you first notice that you were having problems using Twitch?
Yeah, I mean, the tits are awesome on that site, and it's unfair. I gotta stare at those tits. I think I noticed that problem. The chafing. Do you have any Neosporin?
We'll get you some. And how many times would you say you typically masturbated in a day on Twitch?
Just like 3 or 4 times. Per been 10 minutes. Yeah, about 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes, I do 3 or 4 times.
Okay, and do you ever sleep?
I try to, but the tits won't let me go to sleep. They don't stop, so I can't stop.
Somebody get this guy a computer. And he needs his Twitch fixed immediately.
Oh shit! Could you call the fire department? Oh god, the fire's happening again. I don't know why they don't have jizz-proof laptops.
Oh my god, it's got to be a joke. It has to be.
It really
don't you
has
think?
to be. Yeah, but can you get away with like just? This sounds like a complete fucking joke, but like, aren't there consequences for doing this?
Yeah. So I mean, all joking aside, I think Jay, you earlier had said like there should be, frivolous lawsuits like this should be punished or whatever. The police won't go after him. There's no criminal like thing unless he's actually like lying or falsifying evidence or whatever. But Twitch could, in theory, countersue him for like bringing a frivolous lawsuit and stuff. But at that point, if you're a big company, and trust me, like I never am a big like company advocate, but for the purpose of this conversation, if you're a big company and you go after a random dude, even if he's a total piece of shit, the PR is awful. So like what companies do, even when they're sued by lunatics like this, is they just try to like end it gracefully, get the hell out, and like minimize,
I'm just saying there should be a law. Like California is starting the Karen law where you can't call 911 for fake reasons or else you get in big trouble. Like there should be strict penalties for bringing frivolous lawsuits and wasting everybody's time.
So you're saying if the company that's sued does not act on it, basically, if they don't bring a lawsuit for this, there's no consequences, basically. Like the court itself won't impose anything on this person.
The court, in theory, could. They could, like, just on their own. Like, a judge could be like, this is so ridiculous. I'm gonna like sanction you just like on my own. Like it's called like sua sponte. Like they could do that, but that's pretty rare. So typically the most likely way would be Twitch could sue this person for like, damaging their business relations or, basically like a form of like libel or something like that. But that's not what, like no corporate lawyer would ever say do that because it would just make them look really heavy handed. And the problem with the idea of making it a law is, it's hard enough. Like there's already barriers to bringing lawsuits. Like you have to pay a filing fee and this, that, and whatever. So the idea of making it more restrictive for people to file lawsuits when they're already, they can't afford a lawyer, they can't pay the fee or whatever, is something that I think a lot of people would rightly resist. But it sucks because this asshole, like is obviously abusing the system and he's getting a lot of publicity for his stupidity.
I mean, I'm not saying make it harder to make a case. I'm just saying have a penalty if it's a clearly like waste of everybody's time case.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying change the laws to make it harder to bring a bad case. Bring a bad case wherever you want. But
if you make a penalty, that'll like if I tell you that there's like a penalty if you mess up, that may actually make it harder for you to come forward. It's like a chilling effect. That's the legal term for what it is. If you like make something like if you make a penalty too harsh, it dissuades people from taking risks even when they're like valid ones or like they're in the right. Like someone like the penalty might be too great, like so I can't risk it.
I feel like we're too happy in this country anyway.
I would say if they could make a big giant video game out of this case, I think I'd play it.
It's called Laser Shoot Larry.
He sued before. He's the guy apparently
really?
Done like other video game universe lawsuits. He's like a serial suer. Like just coming up with weird crap like that. So it's apparently legit.
What are the rest of his greatest hits? Because that's amazing. Do you have anything else? Can you like pull? Have you seen anything else he's brought?
I when I read it earlier this week, I know that he like in 2010 or something, like gave a quote to a video game. Jay, do you know like Kotaku? It's like I don't even know if it still exists, but it's a video game blog. He gave a quote to them saying, he was done suing like video gamers or video game industry or video game related industry for good. He's done all the good he wants to do in the world or something stupid like that. So obviously not true.
So he's a maniac.
Yeah, he's a maniac. But damn, I mean this complaint, it can be circulated to like 13-year-old boys if they want, I guess, and it's probably the most pornographic thing they will possibly see.
It's kind of an amazing complaint, actually. I have to give him credit. Like just the level of humor. So before we get to our top 5, one other thing I wanted to mention. I've noticed that going back to the pandemic for a second, I've noticed that there's one of the attack lines that the Trump has used and like some of his supporters have used when they talk about Trump screwing up the coronavirus is they talk about how Biden and Obama screwed up the H1N1 pandemic. Do you guys remember? Have you noticed this when Trump brings this up?
Yeah, like 6 people died, and so he's bringing that up.
I find it amazing that they think like there's a headline: Obama administration shut down H1N1 testing, complicated Biden's attacks on Trump's coronavirus screening. I don't know how people can.
They have nothing to do with anything.
It's just amazing. Also, they're like a good attack line is going after Biden for a pandemic no one remembered happened.
Right.
Do you remember that pandemic that really shut down system? No one remembers it. Is anyone like swayed by this being like, yeah, Biden wasn't so good in the last pandemic?
I mean, you guys know I hate Biden a lot, but no, it is complete. It's just beyond nonsense. Like Biden even said something today that I was like, I mean, pudding brain's got a point here. He was like, Trump isn't even trying anymore. Like he's just completely given up. Like he's just like he's a non-entity in the White House, it's totally true. It's just like, it's just freaking nuts. It's just like beyond nuts. I didn't think Trump was actually like evil until actually this week. I think this was the week that he was just like so terrible and awful but like your narcissism and your self-interest, like they could be really, really high, but they have to cross a threshold to become like overtly evil. And this week I was like, this motherfucker's like evil. Like it's beyond.
So kids were in cages, and you were like, well, he likes kids that are not in cages.
Well, you know what? I had him on like a subjective standard for that, because that policy began under, George Bush, and Obama expanded it. Like kids were in cages under Obama, and then this guy like triple, quadruple down on it. So I had him on a subjective scale then, and I was just like, all presidents are sort of like kind of evil.
So what put you over the top here?
I think the whole school thing really is the one thing, which is like basically this guy is forcing all the schools open. He knows a lot of people are in situations where for their sanity or their livelihood, they like need their kids back in school. So like forcing that as hard as possible, while at the same time like doing absolutely nothing to like help schools not, become disaster zones. Like that combination to me is like so like incredibly fucking evil that I mean, you just have no words for it. So that was like the school thing generally is the big thing, but like the sub point is the thing they did with the immigration, which is because I'm a professor or like one of my roles is I'm a teacher, I'm a professor of law. So I get all these like notifications and stuff, and the ICE said that they're going to kick out every international student here and cancel all international visas for any student who does not participate or attend in-person training, like college or grad school programs. So all of those people will be forcibly deported back to their home country unless they go to a college or university and are enrolled in in-person like education. That's like the sub point of the bigger point. It's like calculated evil to cause like mass chaos that will affect basically everyone but the people who are like wealthiest and the most powerful. Like that's it's like super overt. The dude is a danger and an enemy to his own country, his own people, and he's an evil person. So that's kind of where this is for me.
Yeah, I get the sense that Trump thinks that when he sends a tweet, he's gone above and beyond. Like he's solved the problem. Like I sent a tweet, I'm done now, going to take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's completely nuts. Yeah.
Speaking of now, also, I also have you guys spent any time researching the Spanish flu?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
That's all I did today.
You did today? I was looking at it today also, Jay. We were looking. We were in different parts of New York looking at the same time, Jay. It's like it's kismet, Jay. So I learned two things about the Spanish flu that I thought were interesting that I wanted to share. What did you learn about the Spanish flu today, Jay?
I learned that you learned about the Spanish flu.
You said you looked it up too.
Yeah, but I was being sarcastic.
Oh.
Did either of you guys in your learnings did either of you guys learn that it probably it's more accurately referred to as like the influenza pandemic of like 1918?
Yeah, it was called the Spanish flu because Spain was the only country that was not censoring it. So it was like every other country was censoring everything that was going on. So you first heard news reports about it in Spain, even though it started elsewhere. So they call it the Spanish flu, even though it has nothing. It did not originate in Spain.
Do you guys know where it started?
They said most likely like Kansas.
Yeah, in a military base in Kansas.
Yeah, but they don't really know because obviously like they don't have the same level of like tracing they have today.
Yeah, right.
So two things I learned I thought were interesting. One, the Spanish flu was obviously horrible, but up to this point, if you just compare timelines, the coronavirus so far it has been more deadly in the U.S. than the Spanish flu was.
Nice.
The first wave, first 6 months had about 65,000 people dead in the U.S. We have more than doubled that.
Oh my god. That's some terrifying shit. Holy cow.
The second wave, which started in late August, was goddamn brutal, and that's where most of the people died. The second thing, which I found just more comical, So one of the reasons people died was that, one of the recommendations at that time, aspirin was a very big thing then, and it had just come off, I guess, patent, so they could generics. Other people can make aspirin, and doctors thought it was a great way to cure or treat the Spanish flu, and they were advising patients to take up to 30 grams per day of aspirin, a dose known to be toxic, which actually was killing the patients. Today, they say anything above 4 grams is unsafe. So one of the reasons people were dying during the Spanish flu was their doctors were actively poisoning them.
Cool.
Oh my God.
So just found that all interesting. But we got a top 5 we want to do today. The top 5 is last time Peter was on, we did pitches for movies, and today we are going to do pitches for TV shows. And then I guess the next episode we'll have you on will be pitches for video games.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that.
So Jay, you got your list?
I do have my list, yeah.
Peter, you got your list?
Yes.
Let's do this. Peter, why don't you start?
All right. Let me start with I'll start with the one I first wrote. So I wanted to make one related to, you guys, like the guests, or at least one of you. So this is a pitch for a show called High Stakes. It's a comedy. And in this show, Bry plays a slightly different version of himself. He's got like the same job, lives in the same place, same interests, etc. And in the very first episode of the pilot, he takes his paycheck from from where he works to the casino, cashes it all, and he starts playing. And over the course of the night, he basically loses almost all of his money. Most of it's gone. He gets like really bummed. He goes outside and he's sitting there when a stranger shows up and asks him what's wrong. They strike up a little conversation and the guy says, "Hey man, take one hit of this and go back in there and play again." So I think something really good is going to happen. So Bry very reluctantly takes a hit and he is instantly completely whacked out of his mind. But he goes back in and with the last of his chips, he plays a few hands of blackjack and he finds himself winning like big. He goes home having like doubled his paycheck more or less. But when he wakes up, he has zero recollection of what happened or how he won that much money. So over the course of the first season of the show, he seeks out the stranger and eventually they develop a little bit of a friendship and an arrangement. The stranger supplies like this really exotic thing and Bry does the gambling and they share the winnings. But as Bry's success increases, the casino bosses start to take notice and Bry has to stay one step ahead of increasingly dangerous people while trying to make sense of the stranger and the inexplicable effects of the strange substance he is taking.
Nice. I like it.
What's the strange substance?
Well, that would be season 2, but this is High Stakes.
Okay. Well, wait, just who's the stranger?
Also, that's to be developed. I can't give away the secrets, but
There are a lot of cliffhangers here.
Yeah, got a couple of
Okay.
cliffhangers.
That was pretty.
Stranger turns out to be Stickman, if you have to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's pretty good. I think my pitches are more like the movie pitches because I don't know. But Jay, go. I'll do mine. You go, then I'll go.
All right. Bry likes to make separate stacks of coins when he comes home. Mark leaves his mess for his slaves to clean. Bry won't wear a shirt into the bathroom. Mark doesn't even wash his hands. Bry can't sleep if there's one wrinkle in the sheets or his pillow's been moved slightly. All these Bry ones are absolutely true, by the way. Mark hasn't ever made his bed. Both are kicked out of their home after their loved ones listen to the podcast, and they have to live together to save money. It's the Odd Couple 2020.
Awesome. I like that. I was wondering where you were going with it, but that was when I figured it out. It was pretty funny. Okay, so my first one. You guys here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Something is wrong with Peter. Your first one's involving you, Peter.
Oh.
He is different. Ever since he got hit in the head at that protest, he hasn't been the same. His inner and outer monologue no longer match up. In our new show, Peter says the darndest things. You'll see Peter get in all kinds of crazy adventures. His brain thinks he said, "I'm sorry for speeding, officer. Here is my license." But what he actually said was, "Lick my nuts, you goddamn pig." Peter can't understand why the polite words he thinks he's used keep getting him arrested and in trouble. Join him on tons of fun adventures, like when his mouth, without his knowledge, threatens the life of his boss's dog. I simply asked what kind of dog my boss had, then suddenly I'm sitting with a freaked out HR woman. And tune in for the season finale where Peter says some unfortunate things at a Black Lives Rally matter. Black Lives Matter.
Oh God.
Nice.
I like that.
Peter, you're next.
Okay. Next one is called The Docket. It's a drama, and it's in this, you, Mark, play a junior lawyer at a big law firm.
Okay.
The show starts with you in your office, just looking at a screen as you kind of click through hundreds of thousands of documents, not even moving enough to trigger the presence detection lights. So they just keep turning off. The lights keep turning off because you're literally not moving at all. You look at the picture of your law degree and the picture of your family, and you realize this isn't the career that you planned for. So you become very disillusioned as just someone who's a well-paid, but basically just sort of a legal shill. But at some point you start reading things, and you have some sort of political activist type awakening. The two things intertwine. So you get put on a case or a matter where you have to represent some super ultra piece of shit, Elon Musk type, billionaire villain asshole who wants to bypass a bunch of environmental and other requirements that would impact almost directly your home and your family and stuff. So you see it as an opportunity to secretly sabotage this person, which is of course a huge deal because it's a client. You have this super ethical obligation to protect, but you have to sabotage them because otherwise even your own family and your own home will be affected. So you do it, and you're successful. You become very empowered. You start reviewing your law firm's other files more and more closely, and you find these other awful, evil clients who need to be screwed over somehow. So each episode is a self-contained capsule of you discovering something you're really passionate about, finding a client to internally fuck over. And the tension over the course of the show is the law firm is losing more and more clients, and you're trying to stay one step ahead of them so they don't figure out it's you who's sabotaging all of them. That's a drama.
Yeah, not bad.
You have very intricate.
Very intricate.
Mine's two lines.
Sorry.
No, it's awesome.
I could soften them up, but yeah,
it's awesome.
These sorts of opportunities are really fun.
No, it's awesome. I feel bad about my shows are not that intricate.
Yeah, I know.
Jay, you're up.
All right. So this one is called Mark Irwin, Pedophile Hunter. Mark dresses up like Steve Irwin and hunts down pedophiles. When he catches them, he has a polite chat asking them about their obsession because he's curious.
That's the whole show, isn't it?
That's the whole show.
No one gets arrested. I just talk to them and just I just have some questions for you. Is law enforcement here? Nope.
So why do you like kids so much? I just want to know your thought process on this.
It's gotta be a tough life for you. Anyway, see you later.
And then you let them back out into the wild like Steve Irwin. You could talk in an Australian accent too. That would help.
Jay, I'm gonna say I'm gonna have trouble voting for anything else besides that one for you.
Whoa, we got a wild one here.
that was incredible.
I love that.
Okay. In our new show, Jay Loves Everyone. Each episode, it's a reality show testing out Jay's Asian theory. His Asian theory involves the fact that Jay once worked in an office where they were surrounded by just Asian people. He claims that because of that, he became attracted to Asian women and hadn't been before. So each week, Jay will be placed in a different office environment to see if he gets attracted to women or things in that office. Next week, he'll be working in a paper factory surrounded by midgets, and we'll watch him fall madly in love with a girl that's 3 foot tall. The following week, he'll be working in a sneaker store with people that only have one arm, and we'll see if he no longer loves women that have two arms. In the season finale, James
Amazing.
ends up working in a furniture store and starts fucking a couch because he's attracted to whoever
Yes. Yes. Yes.
to whoever or whatever he's around. Jay fucks a couch. Tune in on Fox.
Yes. Yes. That is perfection. I was like, please go to the inanimate objects, and you fucking nailed it. And what a finale that would be. Just incredible.
Peter. JJ, you like that one?
Yeah, it was good.
Okay. Peter.
Oh man. That's a really tough act to follow. Both of those are very very tough acts to follow. So this is kind of like a hybrid. So and you'll understand why, because you can't do the first part of the show every week, so you'd have to alternate it. So it's a reality show starring Jay. So the show would be it's called Unqualified / New Drugs. And it's a 2-part sort of show. So Unqualified is a reality show in which Jay applies for jobs that he is completely unqualified for, but brings a hidden camera to the interviews and tries to bullshit his way into a job offer.
I like it.
So, just like he applies for a job to be, I don't know, like a physician, or like something just completely off the wall. Then the alternative, because those sort of pranks would take a while to set up and like execute and stuff, is on other weeks or off weeks, you would try one random new drug, like taking a heroic dose of a different drug each week. Your vitals would be monitored, like everything you say, do, write, whatever would be recorded and produced into a show of, that drug and its effect on you. Then you just go back and forth. So that's kind of a, out there reality TV show hybrid thing.
I'm less into being a human experiment. I would watch that show, but I don't know if I'd want to star in that show.
Yeah. Okay.
Jay,
That would be
you
a
could
cool
experiment. Jay, you could experiment to make a show, Jay. Just
I feel like that role would be more suited for Bri because he doesn't care if he dies anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, Jay, you're up.
All right, so Mark, you're a police chief, and you hire Bri as a private eye, and basically you can't fire him because you owe him for life for getting rid of all your mini ants. and so Bri is a private eye, and this is kind of like a comedy, and Bri is the worst private eye, just bungling every case, and you get more and more pissed off, but you can't do anything about it, and you're kind of like Spacely from the Jetsons. You just go Brian every time he messes up, and that's like the big payoff at the end when Bri bungles another case. So it's Bri the private eye.
I don't know if this is as good as the pedophile one, Jay.
Yeah, I didn't go in order of how much I like them.
So the next one, it is called. This one actually involves myself. I'm in the show. I don't know if you guys involved yourselves in your own show, but I involved myself in this one.
Okay.
It is called Talking Baseball with Marc and Bri, with the twist being the only person that can hear Marc and Bri talk baseball is Jay. That's right. Marc and Bri endlessly talk about the Mets for hours a day, and Jay can't escape it because it's going on in his head. No one else can hear these endless discussions about whether J.D. Davis or Yoenis Cespedes should play DH for the Mets, and whether their bullpen will finally hold up this year besides Jay. Jay thought life could not get any worse, but he didn't know he would spend hours listening to Marc and Bri debate what Jeff McNeil's true position is and whether Seth Lugo could be a dominant starter. Each week we follow Jay as he tries to survive the coronavirus, avoid getting reamed out via Zoom by his bosses, and now deal with the never-ending monologue about whether Wilson Ramos' bat makes up for his poor defense behind the plate. As we watch Jay spiral into a deep, dark depression, we also learn about the Mets' all-time greats like Tom Seaver and discuss one-year wonders like Bernard Gilkey. Nothing will be more exciting than wondering if this week is the one where the coronavirus will finally save Jay from hearing about why the Jeff Torborg years did not work out for the Mets. Jay will do anything possible to get the virus, including riding the subway for hours on end and going to retirement homes to make out with all the residents.
It's pretty good. I like it.
Peter, you're up.
Okay. My next one is the United States of Conspiracy, or you could also call it InfoWars, the show.
Okay.
So there's a few different like intricate setups here, but mainly it's the year's 2042. Somehow Jay's presidential run has been successful, and he's enjoying his 5th term.
Somehow, come on.
Yeah, sorry. But well, very successful because he's ascended and he's actually gotten rid of the 2-term limit and he's entering his 5th term. Americans are still banned from traveling to any other country, and we're stuck here. Bry is now at the helm of InfoWars. He's the new Alex Jones. He's completely replaced him, and he's kind of chronicling the insanity. But something strange has happened. Marc's gone into complete exile, and he leads some opposition or some resistance. But what's happened in the intervening years is that every single conspiracy that was discussed on this show has been proven real. And it's only really on the back of that, the fact that people came back to this podcast and they were like, holy shit. They knew about these conspiracies. They revealed them before anyone else, and they all turned out to be real. It led to, Mr. Brink of Sanity becoming, this like idol and leader and president for 5 terms. So everything in this world is totally true. All the conspiracies were true. Not just one was real. So there are aliens living among us, cabal of like lizard people, Illuminati, control the world, 5G like spreads disease, like QAnon was actually like Bry all along. There's like satanic pedophiles all over the place. So it's basically just America, after all the conspiracies that were discussed in the show, turned out to be real with these 3 different factions: the InfoWars intermediate guy, President Jay, and Marc, the outside resistance trying to overthrow it all.
Love it.
You're going to call it the Brink of X-Files?
I liked United States of Conspiracy.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Brink of X-Files is good too. I didn't want to lean too heavily on the name of the show for you guys and give you sort of your own, your own new world.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Jay, you're up.
All right. This one is called Breaking Marc. Marc buys valve caps off a Chinese website in order to save $1. He's immediately hacked and drained of all his life savings. He doesn't tell his wife, so in order to make the money back, he decides to cook meth. And Bry helps him because he lost all his money in gambling, and he also figures that the fumes might kill him, so it's a win-win situation either way.
Not bad.
I like that.
I'm going to Bry's gambling also. Ocean's
Nice.
11, Mohegan Sun edition. Bry has lost his several life savings at the Mohegan Sun Casino, and he wants his money back. Tune in each week as Bry organizes a team to rob the casino. The team of 11 will consist of Bry, Ghost Dog, Stickman, the secretary that always calls in sick but doesn't have the coronavirus, Bry's mysterious girlfriend, the girlfriend's son whose presence in her new home is preventing Bry from moving in, Bry's Trump-like boss who thinks the virus is a hoax, Bry's psychic friend who never seems to know we want her on the show, the balloon that followed Bry around that house, Bry's dad just because we need more people, Stickman's kind of girlfriend because I'm really reaching here, that girl that works in the casino that Jay and Bry might know from college or something, but I'm not sure because I don't always listen when it's not my turn to talk. How will they break in and steal Bry's fortune back? Tune in to find out, plus learn the real reason Bry doesn't wear a shirt on the toilet.
Wow. I love it.
Last one, Peter.
Okay, so this is what I meant earlier when I was like, oh, I didn't include you guys in all of them. This one was, so I like when I first did this, I wrote one that it was just a TV show idea that had nothing to do with anything in the podcast, and I was like, oh shit. So the other ones have to do with the podcast, but this is the other one.
Jay, we're gonna find out that Peter's actually he's like, I've actually been working on this show for like a decade. This is my first chance to pitch.
Yeah. No, actually, I really do like this one.
Okay.
So it's it's set in the year like 4,200, distant future. Humans have overcome all sorts of all the internal strife and bullshit, fighting over stupid shit, and at long last, the show is called Simulacra, which is like it's the plural of representation. or like simulation, simulacra.
Okay.
So anyway, at long last, we've settled the entire solar system, right? This wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for some like grand event called the Understanding, which was an informal agreement reached between artificial life forms and humans that all decisions that like affect humanity would actually have to be made in conjunction with the AI robots who could think a lot more rationally and quickly and whatever. So the government that represents like all of like life in the solar system is led by two entities. One is Ellie, the human like president, and this robot, which I think is the most powerful artificial life form ever created, who we can call whatever, Osiris is what I wrote here. So the pilot begins with the celebration on the successful like terraforming of Pluto, the very last like outpost in the solar system. So they've like made it habitable. It's like, wow, we did it, whatever. And then they quickly start sketching plans to go beyond because they need to get the hell out of the solar system. As it happens, they've detected that like the sun is undergoing some abnormal event and like could threaten all life all over the solar system. So they're talking about that. And as the episode ends, there's a scout ship that gets sent out and it heads out of the solar system. But as it goes like farther and farther than any probe has ever gone before, it just smashes into an invisible wall of some kind and is destroyed. So second episode, they investigate what happened. And basically it leads to a conclusion that the robot, the artificial life form Osiris, says there's only one possible explanation, which is like all of us exist in a simulation. So the rest of the show is basically to explore the effects of that discovery. So the tension between the humans and the artificial life forms, the humans trying to cope with it, some trying to like destroy or end the entire universe, like to end the simulation. There's like progress and regression as like everyone tries to make sense of what the hell all this weird shit means. Like the people suspect the robots are involved. It's just some fucking crazy shit. So that was the one that I had written before I realized I needed to tie it back to the podcast. So anyway, so that's the last one.
That's pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, kind of
Jay?
interesting.
All right. So this one is called The Staff.
Okay.
So Peter's running for president and he's crushing it in the polls. So it's time to put together a staff, and he makes the poor, unfortunate decision of hiring the Brink crew for his staff. So suddenly his speeches are including things like cell phones being the downfall of society, who really did 9/11, and what's up with all those pedophiles. And so he eventually wins by the skin of his teeth, and that's where the fun begins because during his presidency, the Brink crew gets cocky and starts stepping it up a little bit, and that's when they try and do things like ban meat and all the other crazy shit we've been talking about.
That's pretty good.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. I like that a lot.
Okay, my last one, then we can vote. Politics has become awful. Trump sucks. Biden, he sucks. The voters are losing their minds and hating all the candidates, so they turn to the one man who can save them. That's right. 100 million Americans say they want to waste their vote. Instead of Trump or Biden, pick the Brink of Sanity guy. Jay wants a new job and to move to a house, and he'll get both of these wishes when he becomes President Brink of Sanity. Tune in each week while Jay tries to calm his anxiety while negotiating with North Korea for the release of hostages. Mr. President, are you really eating microdoses of shroom while I'm asking you whether we need to invade Iran? Mr. President, I don't think we can solve the national debt by writing a bad review on Yelp. Mr. President, Fox News is reporting that you previously brought home and murdered a cat. What say you of those charges? Mr. President, the GOP is looking to impeach you. They say you used the full force of the military to legally force Twitter to give you the handle Brink of Sanity 2. And we are really not sure why you wouldn't have used the power to get Brink of Sanity 1.
That's great. That was very intricate.
Yeah. Peter, are you long enough have you listened long enough to know that Jay used to have a cat that lasted only one day?
No. That does not ring a bell.
Jay, do you remember that?
I know you have a cat.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have a cat. That my cat is actually that cat's sister.
Oh, what happened to the 1-day cat?
When we got it, she was like really, really sick. We got her on a Friday, and we had a vet appointment on a Monday, and we didn't know how sick she was. And that Sunday night, like 8 hours before the appointment, she died.
Oh my God, that's so sad, dude. Holy cow.
Yeah, and then
But
like
what a
I heard her meowing really loud, so I got up and I just saw her laying on her side, and I'm like, oh fuck. So I pick her up, and then I just see this like army of fleas just start rising to the surface, and I was,
God.
yeah, I had no idea.
Oh
yeah,
my God. What
Yeah,
poor thing.
'cause I
Holy
guess-
shit.
I guess the the body temperature was cooling off, so the fleas were looking for something else. So
Oh my God,
Yeah.
poor thing.
Yeah, it
poor
was-
poor cat. And poor you guys. That must have been traumatizing, man. I'm really sorry. That's
was,
awful.
yeah, that was pretty nuts.
Jay told me about it and didn't appreciate me making jokes about it.
Yeah, Mark's like, oh, let's make this a bit on the show, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still like
Yeah.
upset. It was like 2 days later, and I'm like, yeah, I'm still really upset. Let's not do that.
Jay's like, get out of my fucking apartment.
Yeah. Oof. That's yeah. Oof, man. That's sucks. But I'm glad you're glad you got her sister, and it seems like she's doing great.
Yeah, her sister was also really sick and almost dead, but we got her to the vet, and we made the vet appointment like the next day instead of 3 days later. And the vet even said, like, if you
were
can't,
they strays? Were they just like?
it was like my girlfriend was doing like a home care job, and she was like seeing this lady who was like crazy, and she took in these strays, but they were like kind of fucked up, and like she wasn't doing anything to like help them. She was feeding them, but she wasn't like taking them to the vet or making sure they were okay. So they were like dying, and so my girlfriend took one, and the vet's like, yeah, if you waited like 3 days for this one would have died too.
Holy cow!
But now my cat's 11 and doing really good.
Oh yeah, well that's great.
Jay, you appreciate my old school reference to that?
Yeah, no, I like you opening up old wounds. It's cool.
Okay, Peter, give us your quickly. What were your 5 stories, and we can vote.
Oh, there was high stakes, the docket, the United States of conspiracy, the unqualified / new drugs, and the I'll call it just simulation.
I'm going to say I kind of liked your last one, the simulation. I was just watching that show. That show sounded pretty interesting to me. So I know it doesn't involve all of us, but I kind of just enjoyed that show. Jay?
I like the conspiracy one.
Conspiracy one?
Yeah.
Cool.
Jay, what were your 5 shows?
So I had Odd Couple 2020, Mark Irwin, Pedophile Hunter, Bry the Private Eye, Breaking Mark, and The Staff.
Peter, so did you vote for Mark Irwin?
That's my vote.
Yeah, okay. It's hands down. By far your best one, Jay.
It was so good.
It's not even close. My 5 were Peter Says the Darndest Things, Jay Loves Everyone, Talking Baseball with Mark and Bry, Ocean's 11, and Jay Actually Becomes President. Peter?
Well, my vote is Jay Loves Everyone, although I think you could also call it the Asian Theory would be a pretty good name for the show as well.
Twitter wouldn't like that, though. They would be like, Asian Theory, can't it just be something else?
Yeah, fair, true. But that's my vote.
You could call it
Jay?
the pirate theory, because I swear it came from a pirate theory, but I can't find it anywhere on the net now, so I don't know how I came up with that.
Pirate Theory? Were you fucking pirates before you... What are you talking about?
No, the theory came from
What?
pirates would start being
Well,
attracted
was
to
your-
each other because they were on a boat for months with
Holy
only each other.
Jay, so before your current girlfriend, you dated a pirate?
No, I heard about the
Wouldn't
pirate.
it be like sailor theory before pirate? Because I think sailors preceded pirates.
Maybe it was a sailor theory, and I love pirates, so maybe I changed the name.
Apparently, you do love pirates.
Or like the prisoner theory, or like you probably. I've never heard it referred to as that, but you're right. It must have emerged, I guess, from that concept, right? But like, I think that the sailor or the pirate theory iteration of it is a little bit more like, oh my God, I just need like anything, rather than like I've been around couches for a while, so I'm in love with them.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, could be.
Jay,
Like It's conditioning. The latter one is like a conditioning, where the first is like more out of necessity.
Jay, if I cast you in the show, will you actually fuck a couch?
I mean, that'll be the end of my career. I'll be like the guy from American Pie.
He was in other stuff, wasn't he?
Yeah, American Pie 2, 3, and 4.
It's a lot of stuff, though.
The dude who put his penis in the pie, really?
Yeah.
It's that Jason Biggs, right?
Yeah.
He was
Oh,
in a
he's
bunch
in
of
other
stuff.
crap. Yeah.
Yeah, he had like a pretty successful career.
He was known as the dude who fucks the pie.
I know, but I think he made a lot of money doing that.
I guarantee you 90% of the population doesn't even know his real name.
Jason Biggs. It's definitely Jason Biggs, right? Let's
Yeah.
see what else he's been in.
Dude, watch. He's gonna show up and like randomly do some like crazy like iconic movie like 10 years from now and be like rediscovered or something.
And then
you could already
pumping
imagine
out
like the
movies.
articles, right?
Yeah. Then start pumping out movies again.
Yeah, it'll be like, we discover America's sweetheart, Jason Biggs, new stage of his career, like, you know, some BS like that.
Yeah.
He was in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV series that you wouldn't have known about. Yeah, I guess that really was his career. He's been in a bunch of stuff, but that I've never heard of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Just random question that I meant to ask you guys actually earlier is: have either of you seen the show The Boys?
No.
Are you talking about the one on Amazon or the HBO show?
Both of them are actually outstanding, but the HBO one is Our Boys. This one is on Amazon. The Boys.
No, is that good?
I'm like 5 episodes into there's only 8 episodes out. I think the second season comes out in September. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's like a total like flips the hero story upside down totally, and like it's like the premise is, what if heroes are like controlled by a big corporation and are like a, you know, corporate owned type of thing, and like what does the world really look like then? And it's really interesting.
Corporate owned superheroes?
Yeah.
More or less. Yeah.
Okay.
And like they all obviously, or not obviously, but like, you know, they like really don't give a shit about like actual people or human, you know, they don't give a shit about anything. They're just whatever. Yeah, they're really bad. It is really good. I would say it's entertaining. Like in a way that's refreshing right now, despite the fact that it's even like a dark show. You know what I mean? There's some things that are dark right now that I wouldn't want to watch because they're too similar and too messed up in ways that are similar to our ways. But this one's messed up in sufficiently different ways that I can really enjoy it.
Yeah, I've seen that on there, and I know it's supposed to be good, but I never checked it out. I'm surprised, Jay, you're into superheroes. I'm surprised you didn't check it out.
I watched, I think, the first episode. I tried watching it with my girlfriend. She didn't really like it, so I don't know. I just stopped. I'll get back to it at some point.
Yeah.
Jay, what's your vote of my 5 shows?
No, I agreed with Peter.
Okay.
I did like the voices inside my head one, but it was
Yeah.
a little bit too much baseball for me to vote for.
Sorry, what did you say?
Said I liked the one with the voices in my head, but it was a little too much baseball.
I lost you guys.
This happens like
Once
every
a show.
episode.
Every episode. We almost made it through a show without that happening. The show is almost over. I guess we're running out of time, Jay?
Yeah.
Do you want to quickly talk to that Halle Berry thing?
Let's do that next episode.
Okay. Talk about the next episode. There's one question on Facebook.
Okay.
Andrew writes, what did you think of Hamilton spinning Albon like that over the weekend? Outrageous.
Huh? What?
I had to look this up. It's something to do with racing.
What?
I have no idea what you just said.
Yeah, I had to look up what he was talking about because I had no idea what he was talking about. It is
I can't
something.
even comprehend it.
Yeah, I don't know what you just said.
Yeah, having a fundamental like underlying difficulty comprehending what was.
What did you think of Hamilton spinning Albon like that over the weekend? Outrageous.
Hamilton spinning Albon?
Yes. So basically, it's Lewis Albon has confirmed he apologized to Alex Albon following late race contact between the two at the Formula One season opener.
Okay, let's.
So it's Formula One.
I don't know what's
wouldn't have known.
happening, so we'll just move on.
I thought he was talking about Hamilton being on Disney Plus. I tried watching that.
Had you
Broadway
seen
play.
it? Had you seen it before? Like, have you seen it on like Broadway or whatever?
No, I've not. I did not. It was insanely expensive. I think it was like $500 a ticket. So like, I wasn't dying to pay that much money to see a play. Have you seen it?
Mhm. Yeah, I was. I'd actually a couple of friends in the cast when it was in Chicago and saw it a couple of times here. It was, it's pretty good. It's very entertaining. I haven't seen the Disney like movie version of it yet, though. I don't
No,
know.
it's not a movie version of it. It's literally just the play. They
Oh, it's
basically
just a recording of the play.
yeah, they basically paid Hamilton like $75 million just to like record the play. It's a 2016 performance with what's his name, the main guy. And it's,
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
yeah, it's literally just the play. They just
Oh,
went there and filmed it.
Oh.
They were supposed to release it in the theaters, but obviously no point in doing that now. So they released it on Disney Plus. So it was kind of cool just to be able to see the play, and you can watch it from your home basically.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, then I definitely won't watch it because I've seen it.
Yeah, if you've seen it, there's no point in watching it. And it does lose. I feel like it does lose a little bit of the. It's cool, but it's probably. I think it would obviously be cooler in person.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm not a super big like musical dude, but I gotta say I really did enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's for those that know, it's basically this guy Lin-Manuel, whatever his name is. He basically all the music is a lot of rapping in the music, and it's like he does a really cool form of storytelling. Jay, anything else you want to add?
I had a couple stories, but I think I'm going to save them for next week.
Because it's 11 o'clock and you're dying to go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
I tried to say them like 3 times tonight, but
Oh man, I'm sorry.
it's not your
Yeah,
fault.
I'd like to hear them.
It's not your fault,
It's completely my fault.
Peter. It's not your fault, Peter.
Jay, I will bring no stories for next week. Next week is all you and your stories, Jay. I will just sit here and listen.
Oh, good. The fireworks are going off now, just in time for bed.
Are they still going?
I just heard one.
Wow.
Have you really hearing them, Peter? Do you hear fireworks every night?
I'm a super heavy sleeper, but yeah, like every once in a while I do hear them.
I mean, July 4th, right around July 4th, I kept hearing them, but like I don't hear them that much here. But Jay claims every night he hears them.
You make like I'm saying claims like I made it up.
It's actually he said it last show. And I thought he was. I looked it up. It does apparently it's going off every night. Like actual news sources are reporting this.
They go. Jay claims he hears fireworks. I don't know though. Maybe he's
Yeah,
just doing it to get ratings for the podcast.
Oh man, yeah. No, I've seen videos and stuff. They've been like long before July 4th here. Like I was hearing them, pretty much every night. Like once the protests started, and then they kind of subsided a little bit right after July 4th. But I still hear a few, every night or two. I mean, I live in the heart of like downtown, so it's hard for someone like it would be like someone in the middle of like I don't know, like the East Village on like Third Ave, like blowing up an M80 or something. Just it'd be very difficult to pull off. So, but in the outer areas of Chicago, I have friends who hear them like every single night.
Yeah, it's been happening in like every major city. It's fun. It's cool.
It's weird how it keeps happening. Like it's just a sense like it's just weird. Like how it is everyone just been like okay we're doing fireworks every night now.
Yeah, like this is life now.
It's just so weird. Like that. Like who's getting all the fireworks and just doing this every night?
Well, there was a theory actually that that it was actually like police involved in it. One theory was that like basically the cops were just like detonating fireworks in like black neighborhoods and stuff in weird hours to just like fuck with the population. And actually in Harlem there was a video of like a few weeks ago of cops just literally driving like a parade of police vehicles with their sirens and everything blasting at like 3 a.m. But I don't think it's the cops blowing up fireworks in every city. It's got to be something else or just random. But, that was one theory early on that it's like the police just disrupting, creating chaos,
Well,
like psychological warfare.
It's not random because it's happening in every major city in the country. I saw a video of like an unmarked van pull up in a poor neighborhood and open up the back and sell fireworks for dirt cheap to everybody around there. So
I mean,
What?
yeah,
a lot of well, the one thing is a lot of major events with fireworks have been canceled. So these companies are like, we need to make money. Maybe they're just driving the major cities and just selling them to everyone for like whatever they can make.
mm,
I don't know. I mean, maybe just like they're just like, fuck it, we got to make money. Let's sell as much as we can to individuals and hope like we can make our money back.
Oh, I mean, I don't think they're that big of like a group that they could deploy this strategy on a national scale. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I just really be shocked.
Simultaneously on a national scale, I doubt it.
No, I mean, but that would be the most plausible. That would be the most like benign theory is that the companies are just trying to make money. Like, what the hell's going on?
I think it's kind of like an anti-protest, trying to plant fireworks in all the poor neighborhoods so people set them off, and then people start getting mad at the Black Lives Matter protests.
That sounds very plausible as you say it out loud. It's like, yeah.
I love America. It's just a great place.
It's like just dueling, like which side could be more obnoxious.
I did want to talk or ask you guys about your thoughts about this like forced school opening, but we probably don't have time now unless you want to say quickly.
I'll say quickly. I don't know about a force. Well, first of all, Trump's just like open school with no plan and doesn't even. I don't know what he's going to do. On the other hand, I do think opening schools would be a good idea to some respect. Like, I don't think this is going to go on for a long time. It doesn't seem like it spreads that well with kids. A lot of areas, like if numbers are going up in your state, that's different. The numbers are going down in New York.
They were.
I think trying schools, if you can open up freaking every goddamn store, let's try schools on some level. This opening schools should be, I think, the number one priority as far as things to reopen, because nothing else functions without schools.
My opinion is that you can open it if you do it correctly, and I have no faith that we will. Like, if you look in Thailand right now, all the kids kind of have a three-sided barrier around them at their desk, and the front of it is clear, so you can see their face, and the sides are kind of like cardboard. And so they're all kind of self-quarantined, and that would 100% work. We will never do that.
A bunch of other countries are doing this now with the schools open, or they had been, I guess, before like the summer. And there's not been any major outbreaks. Plus, during this whole time, essential workers that had kids and needed childcare, childcare was open for essential workers, and also there were no outbreaks from that. There were no major outbreaks from childcare related to that.
Right, but other countries like listen,
doing it,
pay attention,
not retarded.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, but we did essential workers here with the childcare, and it wasn't an issue. So there's got to be some way to do this. I just saying let's open shit up is idiotic.
Well, the thing in Thailand
finding a
works.
way to do it.
The thing in Thailand works, but we would have people like, well, it's my freedom to not sit in a 3/4 box, and there's no way my kid's gonna do that, and he's gonna cough all over everybody, and again, this is my whole asshole theory where we need to just teach morals and ethics for 3 years.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Like schools should be the number one thing to be reopened. Like, for fuck bars and fuck, like, I don't know, malls and like whatever horse shit nonsense spa thing you want to open. Like,
gotta get my haircut.
Priority should be on. What's that?
Gotta get my haircut. My God-given
right. Yeah. I want to go to like Shooters in Colorado. So you get served a drink with the girl with the gun in her holster, which is an actual place. But this country is so insanely out of its mind stupid that we're just like, open the schools, like, just open them. Like, you can't even get people to like wear masks. Like, you imagine being a teacher in a place like where half the students are like the kids of these lunatics who like think masks are a conspiracy or whatever. Like, can you imagine being a teacher who has like diabetes or like lives with her, a family member who's like sick? Like, they should figure out, if you're going to open schools, like, give schools more like resources and give them more of a chance to plan stuff, but they're just going to force it. And even though it's worked in other countries, it's going to be like catastrophic here, man. It's going to be completely bananas. Like, I think cities are going to become like honestly, I'm planning, if I can, to move the hell out of the city before then. Like I've accelerated my plans to get the hell out of here because I
I'm
think
trying
if
to.
things proceed, it's going to be a disaster. It's
Yeah.
like the cities are going to be like graveyards, and
Yeah.
this second wave, it's like timed just perfectly with the temperatures dropping again.
Mm-hmm. Flu season.
It's it's going to be truly catastrophic chaos.
Yeah, I'm trying to at least get to Westchester by the time all this comes around again.
Yeah, I mean, my sister lives in Brooklyn, and like it just went for her from like we need to get the hell out of here, like ASAP, to like it's now like an existential threat to like her and her kids and her husband and my parents. Like they, they could all die, like literally, like or frankly not die, but they could have limited lung capacity, or who knows, one of the other weird effects that this disease is going to end up having in the long term. Like,
Yeah, that's the
so
thing most people aren't talking about. Like the death rate might be low, but you could have permanent lung damage, and
yeah,
nobody's like counting that stat right now.
like so even I saw a thing that said like even asymptomatic survivors, like people who didn't even show any symptoms, are beginning to get tested to have like diminished lung capacity compared to before, like 5%, 10% diminishment, and like it's literally this disease is like less than 6 months, 8 months old. Like who the hell knows if in 30 or 40 years it's gonna be like a news article. It's like catch coronavirus in 2020. Your lifespan may be on average like 9 years shorter. Like, but we're just like open the bars, open the schools. I mean, it's just capitalism is super duper 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 evil. Like everything is designed to like get people back in schools, kids back in schools, so parents can go back to work when they have to. And like, yeah, if a few kids and teachers and parents and whatever drop dead, at least like a few dollars like will have been made. And that's why this country is like we live in like a fucking Mad Max Black Mirror universe now. It's just horrendous. And like honestly, the only thing you could really do is laugh at this shit, because if you don't, you really will like lose your mind.
Yeah.
So
I mean, just to take the counter argument here, and this may sound Trumpian, but if we didn't test anybody, wouldn't we have 0 confirmed cases and just like the lowest number of the rest of the world?
That's an unorthodox strategy, but you're right. Like, I think we should just stop.
Yeah,
testing.
I mean, if you didn't arrest anybody, we'd have no crime.
Exactly. It's also like, and I know people are dying, but like there are other causes. I think a lot of coronavirus like cases result in people dying from stopping breathing. So they cause a death, stop breathing. There you go. Like, so no death. Like we're doing amazing at this now.
Yeah.
If you only count income, then we have no debt.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you only count how much money the government like took in taxes,
yeah,
no
deficit.
Like there's no deficit.
Went away.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're in a surplus of 70 trillion.
Yeah.
America is great again if you're Trump, as long as you don't count the people that vote for you and you don't really want to spend any time with, because they're like, oh God, I can't be around those people.
Someone posted a chart of the Tulsa, like the Oklahoma COVID cases, and like the day of the Tulsa rally, which was right after Juneteenth. Like it is literally, the curve is already trending upwards, but like the slope of the curve increases literally after the rally, like upward even more. It's pretty fucking funny.
Speaking of Juneteenth, I think we're all white people. I don't know if we talked about this in the show, but was I the only one who hadn't heard of Juneteenth until Trump planned a rally on this? And then I was like, Juneteenth, is that like a new holiday? Then I looked it up. Oh, it's been around for over 100 years. I'm a piece of shit.
I had no idea what it was either. I think most people are pretending that they knew and it was a big deal. Just like the politician who didn't know some like city in the Middle East, and everyone's like, how could he not know that? And I'm like, you didn't fucking know what that was either.
But in theory, we probably should have known that. It kind of marked the end of slavery. We totally should have been celebrating that the whole time. Instead, we're like,
this is Columbus Day.
Yeah, Columbus, total asshole. Let's celebrate him. Something that we were finally getting rid of, like something we're ashamed of getting rid of. We don't celebrate that holiday.
Dude,
Peter, had you heard of Juneteenth?
Yeah, I knew what it was, but I had no idea of its like that, like that we, like frankly, it was to me, it was just sort of like the day a thing happened in history. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was in my mind, like not on the order of like D-Day or like V-Day, like in World War II, like when in reality, it should be not necessarily like on the exact same magnitude, but on that level, it should be celebrated and commemorated. But I mean, we all went to school in New York, I believe, right? Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
And like, was never like a, segregated state like the South. But think back to your like high school educations, if you took like AP history, like all those classes, which I'm sure, some of you guys probably did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much of this shit didn't we learn? Like, I didn't know anything about the Tulsa terrorist attack. I don't know if you guys knew about that, but I found out about it when I watched the show Watchmen. I was like, what the hell? Yeah. And like, I didn't know anything about that. Did you know, either of you guys know about it?
I only knew about, once I looked up Juneteenth, then I looked at Tulsa. They were talking about, this is on the same, around the same time I looked at the Tulsa events also. And I was like, holy shit, this all happened?
How do we miss that? Like, how do they not even touch it in any of our classes?
I didn't take AP history, but I remember history from high school just covering like months on the Civil War. But anything that happened recently, fuck it, we're not covering that shit.
Like, also, we didn't learn anything about Asia, like absolutely nothing.
But the Tulsa thing happened like more than 100 years ago. I mean, it's like that's like pre-World War II stuff, and it's a huge deal. Like, but
the way they taught history with everything, you don't even learn anything like Africa. All I learned was slaves are from there, and that was it. Mm-hmm. We barely covered anything about Africa. Australia, they sent prisoners there. We're done teaching about Australia. Most countries, it's basically American history. It's just like your history of white people was most of it.
Yeah, and Europe. You learn
Europe. Yeah, and not even the white people in South America. Not going to cover that too much.
No.
It's nuts. It's really like nuts. My favorite thing that like sometimes when I'm getting too heated on Twitter, which is not that often, but like some conservative, I used to like argue more on Twitter, but then a few years ago I was like, what the hell's the point of any of this shit? But like, some people who are like, oh, the Soviet Union, those people were starving in the 80s while like America was killing it, building the internet and whatnot. Like they were, and I don't know if you guys ever saw it. I don't know, Mark, I may have sent it to you, but there was like a CIA document from 1983 that showed that like the Russian diet and the American diet were exactly the same, like almost exactly the same in terms of calories. With the Russian diet was more nutritious overall. Like that's our own CIA, like reporting that. And that is like recent history, because I know I grew up thinking like the Russians were eating, like people would joke like they're eating toilet paper or newspaper. That's what like communism and Soviets. Yeah. But our own CIA was like, they eat about the same number of calories, with the Soviet diet being more nutritious on the whole. It's like, oh, all right, well, so there's no chance, obviously, we would have learned that in school because it was pretty recent and stuff. But
we learned they were
I at least
on,
would
like,
expect
waiting
100-year-old shit makes sense. Go ahead.
We learned they were waiting online for like 3 hours for bread.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
like,
same thing.
Blue jeans is a huge thing there. Like they couldn't have.
Yeah. It's like, blue jeans. Like they didn't have Coke, or they had like one flavor of ice cream, I guess.
You guys don't have Pop-Tarts. That sucks for you guys.
Yeah, it's like you guys, I'm sure, have seen those memes, which is like capitalism breeds innovation, and it's like a wall of like different like flavors of Pop-Tarts and like Pop-Tart competitors, and like there's like 5,000 different iterations of like Pop-Tart. It's like cool. Yeah, I want to, and that ties to the whole weird freedom thing, like where people are like, hey, my freedom, I'm free to not wear a mask, jerks. It's like it's just like all the same mirage bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
Hey, has anyone ever said to you, hey, it's a free country, in a way that didn't make them sound like an asshole?
No.
I've never heard someone talk about it being a free country in not an asshole way.
That's a really good point. No, never. And it's funny. You just reminded me of the like this that I don't know if you guys ever like watched or saw that Tucker Carlson dweeb. who's like, of course, the son of like a billionaire, like all this bullshit. So whatever, doesn't matter. But he recently, like, he was doing a bit, and underneath his thing, it said like our freedoms are under attack, and it was like a whole big thing about how like the masks are like taking away our freedoms and blah blah blah. And then with like no bit of irony like whatsoever, like it switched to his next story, and he's like, in other news, it's apparently okay to criticize our government and our ideals. And it was just like the transition of like him saying the freedoms are under attack because you're being forced to wear a mask. And then like the inverse, right? Like it shouldn't be okay to allow the criticism of the country and our ideals, with like no irony, like just complete, like just, it's like you, honestly, it does make you think you are living in a simulation. Like people in the world can't be this fucking stupid. But
I think my all-time favorite one, I think Jay pointed out, I forget, I don't know if I'm getting correct, but it was an InfoWars article about the virus being a hoax, and mid-article was an advertisement from InfoWars for masks.
That was a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's just so crazy.
It's fucking insane.
It's and like, how are we gonna, like, I was gonna say, like, how are we gonna live with these people after, like, you know what I mean? It's like waking up after a really like super terrible bender where you have no idea who you came home with, and you like poke your head into the bedroom and there's just like a gigantic mass under the covers, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, what do I do now? Like, do I say hello? Do I flee? Like, we have to, like, even after this is all over, like, we have to live. Like, these are our country men and women and people.
Peter, it's fine. As part of Mr. Brink of Sanity's presidency, he is instituting a 3-year re-education for the entire country.
Yes.
We all will learn to not be assholes. Jay's got the problem solved. Kanye, you better work on your fucking platform.
You don't think that's a good idea?
I do. It sounds good to me.
Okay. Because, I mean, it's proven to have worked in other countries.
I was just saying, Peter's right. Our country's shit, and we should learn how to work. I agree, Jay. I actually do. I did not realize they don't teach anyone till 4th grade.
Yeah, because think about what you learn in first kindergarten through 3rd grade anyway. Like, you could learn that in about 2 months in 4th grade. So
it is true. A lot of the stuff you learn is just because outside of the social stuff, a lot of stuff you learn is stuff that you just pick up faster if your brain was just a little more developed.
You probably learn it at home anyway. Like, you know, you learn the alphabet and numbers at home. So, like, yeah, you just learn to not be a dick, and then you're like a normal human being.
It's because schools in America are like basically like shitty, or, you know, at those early ages, they're used as like shitty daycare, like so people can like run their asses to work. Like, that's the whole thing. It's just like a holding like mirage. Like, what the fuck are you going to learn at like 4? Like, I mean, what?
But
you don't learn at home.
A realistic problem is you need if both parents need to work to like survive in this society, then you need childcare.
That's also a problem for our country. Like, that didn't used to be that way.
Well, first, you're right. So a lot of like, it used to be you could do one income, and now it's tough to do that. And secondly, a lot of countries provide like some kind of form of universal childcare.
Yeah, of course.
Our country just tells everyone to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, like, I mean, what like, we're the richest country ever to exist, and like, I mean, dude, this country doesn't even give people health care. You think they're going to give them child care? Like, you chose to have a child, so double fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, you didn't choose to exist, so like, the least you could do is give someone health. But no, we don't even do that. Like, everyone is just sort of on their own. Like, you know, I just don't know where it's headed. You know, like the fake bullshit ship of like crap riding on a sea of turds and on fire. Like, ultimately, I don't know how much longer it could stay afloat. Like, and that's what's so weird about this time.
Well, if I've learned anything from watching TV, by the end of the episode, or by the end of all this, it all gets better. It all wraps itself up.
Yeah.
So, where can they find the what is this Scribbed?
Scribbed.
Everyone should look and see this complaint. It's unbelievable.
You guys should post the URL, the address in the show notes or something, so people could click on it, because
Jay, can you do that? Can you post? Can you add this to
Too
the
good.
URL?
I could email it to you too, Jay, if that's
Okay,
easier.
yeah, that would help.
Okay.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Okay, Jay's gonna kill himself if the show goes on any longer. So,
True story.
Sorry, dude.
No, that's all right.
but Peter, let's have you. If you want to come back on soon, we'd love to have you back on soon.
Yeah, no, whatever. Thanks for having me. And yeah, nice chatting with you guys and good hearing all your ideas.
Okay, good talking to you, man.
All right, take care.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com and brinkofsanity3 on Twitter.
You can play the goodbye song.
My love.
Goodbye, everybody.
It's all over.
Goodbye. It's time to go.
This is the end.
Say goodbye.
I'm gonna leave you.
It's the end.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say